All right, cool. I have here with me James, one of our partners from Annuity Cases Now. James, if you could kind of just start us off, tell us about who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Hey, yeah, man, I've been appreciate you having me on, man. I've been in the advanced markets now for about 15 years in the insurance business, annuities, IULs, and assets under management. So I met you guys probably a little less than 30 days ago. So excited about the program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awesome. But yeah, I figured we'd just bring James on, kind of understand more about his experience on the platform. But before we get into all that, I kind of wanted to understand, you know, what were you doing before when it comes to like actually getting in front of annuity prospects? What type of marketing, what type of strategies were you doing to get in front of annuity conversations before?
Yeah, for me, man, I was doing, traditionally what everybody else was doing. I was doing dinner seminars and hired hired a couple of marketing companies to do some social media marketing, which didn't pan out well for me at all. But my primary source of getting in front of clients was dinner seminars, old fashioned,
Yeah.
a lot of ton of work, and just got to a point where just tired of that model, tired of hustle and bustle and going, I don't call them plate lickers, just the process and of the data seminar itself, man. So it works, but it is some work.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot of work with dinner seminars. Branching off of that, what would you say this compares to, everything you've done, including dinner seminars? Talk to me a little bit more about your experience, so far about a month or so on annuity cases now.
Actually, night and day, man. To be honest, it's something different that's happening with these leads. The asset size is just tremendous. I mean, it's outside of the norm, man. And I'm assuming it's the concept of raw conversion. That's the only thing I have in my brain right now to say that when you talk about raw conversions, you do draw the right crowd. And so the conversation that I've had with clients has been pleasant. I mean, you're always going to have those
Yeah.
one-offs, but those conversations with the asset side is tremendous. Like right now, me and Bobby, I'm trying to get this guy locked down to a meeting. We have two guys that have been over 5 million. It's absolutely tremendous when you look at it from that perspective. So my biggest aha is like, man, these people actually have money.
Yeah. Mm. They definitely have money, you're right? Over 5 million.
Yeah.
That's just a few of the cases. Right? Like, could you talk to me a little bit more about like in terms of like how receptive the leads are, like when you're actually getting a hold of them, having that conversation, and moving them along your sales process?
Yeah, what's interesting is anytime you call leads, you're accustomed to individuals saying, "Hey, it wasn't me. I didn't fill it out." But to be honest, I haven't had that happen yet. I haven't had anybody say that I was not looking for a way to pay my taxes. With somebody else's money is kind of how I pitch it. But I haven't had anybody say it wasn't me. I haven't had anybody say I'm not looking for. They all agree. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Just want to know what the process is. So, all the clients that I've talked to have been very receptive to the conversation. So it's pretty interesting.
Yes, yes. I know you teamed up with Bobby on this as well. But can you walk me through like your guys' sales process you guys are going through to actually make sure they're showing up to the follow-up appointments? What you guys
Yeah,
are.
what I've done and what I've always done in doing phone work, I call it doing phone work. For me, one of the things I wasn't familiar with, I understand raw conversions. Of course, I understand how that process is done, but I wasn't familiar with your process. And so what I decided to do is say, just do joint work with somebody. I said, let me just do joint work for the first 5, 6 sales just to see that back end. But for me, I start out, with a phone call. I get them on a phone call and it's an unexpected call. Sometimes they're not in place to have a conversation. So I call them up and I book an appointment to have a phone call. And
Yeah.
so that seems to be the best process for me. That it works for me because initially when I'm dialing, I'm not prepared to have a meeting either. I'm dialing for a reason. I'm dialing to set appointments. So I set the first appointment. I call them again. And I try to do that first appointment within, 24, 72-hour window. And I get on the phone with them again, and I just go through the qualifying process. What do you have? That whole process. And then I'll book a second meeting with Bobby to give them the overview of what it is that we actually do. And then we just carry the process from there, right? So I think even today, here in about 45 minutes, me and Bobby's going through our fourth meeting with this guy. And this is actually our closing pitch. And so I just, go step by step. You got to call, you got to have that first conversation to see if they're qualified, see if they're actually looking for, see if they ever, once you get into the process, you know what I'm talking about. But that's kind of how I do it. Lead comes in, I call, speed the lead fast as I can. Pick up, I send them a text message, say, hey, this is James, raw conversion expert. When is a good time to give you a call, today or tomorrow? Send the same email. The next day I call 3 times. They don't pick up. I call 3 times in the morning, 3 times in midday, and then I begin to text and email at night. That's just me. That's how I operate.
You calling them like 6 times in one day, then 3 times.
Yeah, 6 times a day. That's right. 6 times a day. That's what I've learned. When I was taught dialing leads, that's what I was taught. Call every lead 3 times in the morning, 3 times mid afternoon, and then text and email in the evening, because you don't know what people's work schedules are. But that's kind of how I was taught.
Yes, that's good. I mean, that's really the biggest reason why you've juiced a little more out of the leads you currently have. You got some more conversations than you typically would from the same number of leads that someone else might have. That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. Yeah, man. Like, okay, I know you touched base a little bit on it, but you're talking to freaking millionaires, right? A few people that have over 5 million. You have a few people that you already have 4 conversations going on, 4th appointment already happening. If you could give me like a brief overview, like in terms of like how much you feel like is in the pipeline and how much you feel like could start moving pretty soon, pending business, how much would you say that is, like an estimate?
My best guess, we got 3 guys that we got to get back on the appointment schedule, which we have a couple of them. I got a couple of them back on already, but getting ready to move. Right now, I think this first deal is going to be a little bit over 300,000. Because we end up the guy is hilarious. The client is hilarious. Initially it was going to be like 800, 1.1 million, but now we down to like 300,000. But it is what it is. And so ready to move. I believe that's ready to move. Other than that, working on, I would say, a client. 3 of those clients we're probably working on well over 1 million. I mean, it's up there.
That's awesome. Let's go. Awesome, man. I appreciate all that you just said. Just some feedback in terms of like, what, like, this is what you gotta do, man. Like, you gotta fucking call people 6 times a day, 2 or 3 times a day minimum, but you're calling them 6 times a day, right? And then you're moving them along the process. That's the biggest thing.
In that call process, one of the secrets I use is, I know a lot of guys don't like double dialing or triple dialing, and I understand that. One of the things that I do that's effective is, if I call you up, Austin, and you don't pick up, right? Guys, we got to understand that they don't know the number. They have no idea of their call. But then what I do is, as soon as I make the call, I already got a text preloaded, and I send that text. I say, hey, Austin, this is James, your Roth conversion expert. You requesting information regarding paying your taxes with somebody else's money. You got a few minutes. And after I send that text, I wait about a minute, 2 minutes, and I call right back. The pickup rate when you do that is pretty high. Even if they're at work, like the guy said the other day, he said, hey, James, this is the white man. I'm at work. Could you please call me after 6? I said, no problem, man. I'll call you after 6. Called a guy, got him, got his information, put him on an appointment with Bobby. So it's just how you got to be able to work those leads. And the same thing Saturday morning. Like Saturday morning, whoever I don't get in contact with this week, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock my time, I'm gonna fire off a text. Hey, these guys are millionaires, man. They're not working Saturday morning, right? So Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, they're in the grocery store with their wives, they're in the mall with their kids. They out to eat breakfast with their families. At 10 o'clock, boom, send the text message off. And they fire right back. guy we send the guy we send Thursday. I fired off a text message Saturday. He said, "Hey man, I'm in the ER with my wife. Can we talk Thursday at 3?"
Wants to talk
Uh,
shit.
yeah, we talk Thursday at 3, man. Whatever, and you just gotta, you do get those that say, "Hey man, I'm no longer interested." All right, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
And so you just gotta work the work. You just gotta put in the work.
Yeah, you get what you put in ultimately, right? That's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. Awesome, awesome. So last quick question, right? If there was another agent, another advisor that's on the fence, they're looking at annuity cases now, working with us as well. What do you have to say to that person and get them off the fence to actually start, get on board?
Yeah, I would say, all of us have a desire to sell annuities at a high level. I mean, if you've been in this business any time frame, you know that annuities are something to put in your sales process. Now with annuities now, what we have is a process. You guys have a process that's going to put me in front of that client that has the money. I'm not even guessing anymore.
Yes.
I don't even guess if they have the assets. They have the assets. So now it's a matter of learning the sales talk, learning the language and how to talk to the people. If you can capture 10 conversations out of a batch of leads, the opportunity to close that is very, very high. So I believe personally, this is my belief, with this system, I'm going to be able to get rid of dinner seminars. And every 90 days, my annuity close rate should begin to increase exponentially because I'm talking to the right people.
Yes.
I'm talking to people who actually have money. And so if you've ever been looking for a system that's going to put you in front of the people that actually have the assets, you guys have it. And so that agent that's on the fence, my advice is saying, hey, look, you've done dinner seminars already. And you already invested the capital to do dinner seminars, which is way more than what you guys are actually, what we're expensing for this program. The question is, will you do the work? Will you follow the leader? And if you do those two things, this system in time will be way more profitable than what we do in dinner seminars.
Yes, sir. Yep. Like once you master that sales process, you learn the word tracks, you learn the actual process to move the lead to the next appointment, and eventually, submit an application. You start matching the sales process to the marketing, the magic starts to happen, and you're starting to see that happen pretty soon. That's why I tell people within like a 45 to 60-day sales process, you've either closed a lot of business or you've had a bunch of pending business. And it's going to start moving that direction. But this is, the number one virtual annuity marketing platform out there. And that's my goal. It's not just the marketing out there, but it's also the training and sales process we're doing and everything on top of it. So I'm super happy, super excited. Let's keep this going. Is there any last words you want to leave off with before I let you go?
Oh man, just, come join the team, guys. I mean, it's been fun. It's been, you got guys that do co-work with you, joint work with you until you learn what you need to learn. And it's not like, joint work is like, okay, it's not like splitting $100,000 annuity. Joint work, we splitting annuities at $700,000-$800,000. So it's like, okay, I do that. I do that 3-4 times until I learn how to walk the sale all the way through. But I mean, it's not hard to learn. They give you all the information up front. You get everything. You get all the word tracks. You get everything day one. You get the presentations day one. So you get everything in your hand. So it's just a matter of going to do the work, really.
Yes, sir. Let's freaking do it. Awesome, man. I'll talk to you soon. Let's keep.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.